hike. We're on the Rhododendron Trail to I forgot the name of the fire tower already. It's got an Indian name to it. It's a brisk late November morning. It's November 28th, actually on my birthday today. And it's about 35 degrees. So we got to get the blood pumping and start warming up a bit. But other than being about 35 degrees, it's a beautifully sunny day. Looks to be a great day for a hike. Godfrey and I came on this trail about 2 years ago. And this is near where I was last week, near Nancytown Lake and Lake Russell. And I'd forgotten about this trail. And I went and looked it up and remembered it was a fairly easy one for him to take. I think there's only one more difficult incline towards the end near the tower. But I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think it was gradual. So, as I've mentioned before, I am from Chicago, and this time of year it tends to get cold. We get our first snows, and I've kind of tried to vow to not lose my cold hardiness after I moved here to Georgia. But and so far I haven't. Like right now, it's like 35 degrees, and I brought a jacket and I brought gloves, but I don't have them on yet because usually I would work up, a little bit of a sweat in this kind of weather, just by hiking, going up the hills. Some beautiful waterfalls, by the way. Little tiny rolling waterfalls, which I would normally scramble down to, but as you know, my geriatric dog can't make those climbs anymore. Anyway, so during the cold weather, you get a few days in a row of some pretty cold weather in Chicago, and it kind of gets you acclimated for the winter. That doesn't happen here. Like today, it'll probably get up close to 50 degrees. And even in the depth of winter, January, February, I would say the highs probably average from the mid 40s to the mid 50s, and the lows, like in the mid to upper 20s to the mid to upper 30s. Godfrey wanted to get a squirrel. So you don't really ever get acclimated to some deep cold. So it makes the not so cold temperatures feel colder. So I'm just trying not to get caught in that. Because I used to go out in the winter all the time. When the snow would fall, we'd get in some of the 2-week-long deep freezes where it gets below zero. And I would even be shoveling snow in the lightest of jackets. Because once you start shoveling 6 inches of snow, you start building up a bit of sweat, and the blood starts pumping, and you're just not cold. I would have gloves on, but a lot of times I would have just a light jacket or not much of a jacket at all. There's a really beautiful waterfall over here. See if we can zoom in. There it goes. Can't get down to that one, unfortunately. And he's crying because he wants to keep moving. So we'll keep going. And I don't have any gloves on right now, even though I probably should, because it's hard to use my phone, which is how I do all the videos, with gloves on. And anyway, I should probably get one of the sticks with the shutter buttons on them, but I don't know. It's too much of a pain. I used to use an Insta360 camera, and I had this Zoom field recorder mic, and I have all this stuff set up, and it was just kind of a pain. This is a much easier system for me to record and edit later on, splice them together. So this might turn out to be a short podcast, short video, because if I do need to put my gloves on, then I'm going to be taking my phone out to record all the time. Onward. Godfrey and I just passed a few other hikers with another dog, and Godfrey was his exemplary crazy self. I will never understand why he doesn't like other dogs. But that's why he's leashed on this trail, which will be a little bit more heavily trafficked. Although I was hoping it would be empty early morning the day after Thanksgiving. There were no cars at the trailhead but ours, so they must have walked in from somewhere. So as I was mentioning just a little earlier about the cold, walking up a couple of little inclines, definitely got the blood moving. So while my body's fine, I'm not cold at all there. My hands were, but now even those are getting better with the additional flow of blood. All right, I guess we got to turn here. It's just an absolutely beautiful day. Couldn't have asked for a better weather for birthday hike. All right, we've reached a water crossing where I'm gonna have to wait, Godfrey, wait. I'm gonna have to let Godfrey go so he can get across and it'll be easier for me to figure it out. Okay, let's go. Let's see how we can get across. Oh, it's not that bad. They look way more muddy, but it's not. That was easy. Up another hill. Here we go. So we're starting on the big part of the hill, which is probably about half of this trail, I think. Maybe the last fourth. But it's especially good on a day like today where you need to keep warm. So up a bit, now down a bit. Oh, I don't remember these steps. So it's called, I should stop saying so. It's called the Rhododendron Trail. But I don't see a lot of rhododendrons as you would typically think of them. There's a lot of mountain laurels. And I don't know if they're in the same family or not. And I probably said this the last time on the video. Last time I came here. There's tons of mountain laurels. You walk through these like tunnels of them. But none of the really big leafed rhododendrons that I normally think of as a rhododendron, that you see in a lot of the further north Georgia mountains on the trails up there. And there's not a whole lot to see on this particular trail. It's relatively short. I think it's 3 miles out and back. But it is a really nice, pleasant walk in the woods if that's what you're up for. And while it's rated moderate because of some of the inclines, it's really not a difficult trail at all. So there's a side trail. Here's the name of the tower. Genosita. That's my best attempt at pronouncing that. Genosita Tower. There's a side trail that'll take you to the Lake Russell campgrounds. Oh, my dog's tied up. That's why I don't like hiking with a leash. I end up doing tons of circles because he keeps tying me up, and then back to Lake Russell Road. All right. Let's continue on. Let's go, Godfrey. Just had to walk crouch under a fallen tree. So it helps to keep working out in your old age. As I say that, as I start to breathe heavy on the final climb to the tower. So we're here at Genosita Mountain, one of the largest stands of rhododendron minus in the United States, National Historic Site. So you come out, at the end there's a little monument there marking the trail at this road, and then we walk up a hill to get to the tower. So the trail's here, just not where I remembered it was. I thought it was behind the monument, but it's further up the road. And you got this last little incline, and you're at the tower that you can see off in the distance. Made it to the tower. That took less than an hour. Probably if I don't have Godfrey, it'll take me maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I don't know if this fire tower is still in use. I doubt it. Oh, there are people stopped off to see things. So I might have to take Godfrey on leash again. A little bit of freedom for a few minutes. And off here, you can see Lake Russell in the distance. You can just see all around. Somebody explain to me why my dog is so stupid. Why are you stupid? Why are you stupid? All right, let's get going. Hopefully there's not too much wind noise on this camera because it's blowing in my face right now. But we're on the way back down. That's the end of this birthday hike celebration. Well, in another 45 minutes or so. Okay, we're back down from the tower, and I forgot to mention, this is what I meant to talk about with regard to traditional rhododendrons. They planted some little ones here in front of the monument, and there's a big one. Oh no, that's a magnolia. Oh, here are the smaller ones. So these are the ones that are normally, I consider a rhododendron. And what I see a lot of are more like these, and they're sort of like, I thought they were called mountain laurels. But, you know, again, I'm from the city. I'm from Chicago. I could be wrong, but I tried to look them up. So here's more of a traditional, what I would consider a rhododendron. So enough rhododendron talk. Back down. We will be heading north. They got a little marker there. I didn't see that, I don't think, the last time. So back down the trail. Let's go, Godfrey. It's almost all downhill from here. It's going to be a little slippery because of all the leaves. There's a ton of leaves on the trail. But I gotta mark this one as a favorite for Godfrey because this one's easy for him to do, and it's not a bad trail. It's a fun trail to hike. There's just not a lot to see unless you want to scramble down and see some of those smaller waterfalls on the side. But it is a pleasant hike, especially if you like a workout on that last incline. You'll start questioning your life decisions. But I don't think these inclines translate on video very well to see the steep angle. It's got to be 15 degrees or more. I don't know. Every time I watch them back and I see the video, it's like, yeah, that doesn't look that steep. But when you're here and your head is level and you can see way down there, it's pretty steep. But you got to be careful, at least, especially at this time of year, because this trail is so covered in leaves that you can't see the roots and the rocks underneath. So you just kind of have to be careful. You'll twist an ankle. Just go slow. And everything will be good. But I'm going to watch this one again and see if this translates. I'm holding my phone level right now, and I don't know if you can really see the bottom of the trail. But I'll check it out when I get back. There's this little stream and a bridge. Godfrey, you want a drink? Go drink. Do you let your dog drink in random streams with the stuff he eats and the bad puddle water he drinks and he doesn't throw up? I have no fear of a nice clear running stream. I do carry water with him, but that's in case there's no water on the trail. I'll let him get as much as he wants, and then we go. All right, Godfrey, let's go. You can tell he's tired. Tough getting up the bank just from that stream, but the rest of the way's easy. The downhill stuff he can do pretty well. But after a few miles, what used to be my long distance trail dog now is like me, part of the geriatric set. It's our only other mini water crossing. It's the only one you actually have to step into. Okay, seems like you got plenty to drink. So on we go. I'm gonna put him back on leash. So it's almost 11 o'clock right now. Sun's a little bit higher in the sky, and you could definitely feel it warming up now. No jacket required, as Phil Collins said. Does that date me at all? 80s Phil Collins. No jacket required. Not too much left of the trail. And this 59th birthday extravaganza. I definitely feel like I record a lot less on these out and back hikes because, it's going to the point where you stop. That's where everything's new, and then on the way back, you've already seen it. Obviously, you're coming from the other direction, but still, you've already seen it. So I really don't record as much as when I'm on a loop. So, almost having what I believe to be an interesting thought. May not be interesting to anybody else, but interesting to me. And I bring it out, bring out the camera, and hit record. Man, I was just glad I could even record anything. I thought maybe if it was going to stay in the mid to lower 30s that I'd have to put the gloves on, but nope. Once we start hitting the hill and then the sun got a little bit higher in the sky, temperature is beautiful right now. Absolutely beautiful. You can see this leaf-covered trail. I can see the road, the bridge, and my Jeep. So that brings us to the end of this hike in the Rhododendron Trail, just outside Mount Airy, Georgia, in the Chattahoochee National Forest near Lake Russell. That's a lot. That's it. I'll catch you on the next hike.